Timelines. All right, so you have a freshman, right? You have a seventh grader. How about your child?
I have a ninth grader and a sixth grader.
Okay, how about over here?
Eighth and sophomore and junior.
Sophomore, junior in high school?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
And eighth grader.
Eighth grader. And your niece is?
Second in high school.
Sophomore, okay. How about you?
Eighth grader.
Eighth grader, okay. And how about you?
Sophomore.
Sophomore. Okay, great. So here's how I like to advise people on how to approach the high school years. Freshman year, 3 things. Well, these things track, but here's how we start them. Academics, they should be your #1 priority in your freshman year. I mean, they're always our top priority, but specifically. Why? Freshman year sets the tone, and you want to start strong. Okay? Testing. Consider a science subject test in June. All right? So for example, in lots of school districts, they give either physics or bio freshman year. Okay? I went to Sasa High School in Long Island. We took bio freshman year. All right? If you're going to take any sort of standardized test, it makes sense to take a test in the subject that you're studying because you'll have learned it all by the end of the year. It'll be fresh. You take that test, and it's done. And what you're doing is you're buying yourself flexibility for down the road, okay? When things get a lot busier during junior and senior year, okay? Extracurricular, just get involved. Explore your interests, okay? You know, find things, try things, do as much as you can just to get a taste of what you might be interested in because you're going to want to build upon those interests moving forward, okay? Rising sophomore summer, you know, go back to the extracurriculars, right? What did you enjoy doing sophomore year? Okay? What was of interest to you? All right? Start to select some activities that you really were excited about, all right? And look for ways to explore those interests over the summer. You know, an example of what that might look like is, I don't know, I love my intro to chem and physics class. So maybe I'll go do like a, you know, a STEM camp or something that summer, right? But start to take whatever those interests are, whether it be academic or extracurricularly in particular, and look for ways to further explore them, all right, in the summer. Because when sophomore year comes around, we're going to start to be more selective with how we spend our time. Sophomore spring. In June, I think you want to see where you stand on the SAT or the ACT. And if you're in 10th grade and doing chemistry, think about doing the chemistry subject test. People often ask me, well, how early should I start preparing for the SAT or the ACT? And I say that if it was my kid, and she's in a good high school program that's rigorous and she's performing well, I think at the end of your sophomore year, just see what tests might be the way for you to go. Because doing anything more before that, you know, there's a lot of stuff they're learning in school in terms of math, reading comprehension, writing skills. Those things are still maturing. Okay? And this process is all about integrating activities and time, right? There's so much that you want to get done, and there's not enough time to do it. The more that you can sort of piggyback activities to help you prepare for one thing and the next, the better off you're going to be. Now, you know, that rising junior summer, if you're going to be an SAT student, although this is going to change because the exam's changing, you want to start building a program for vocabulary over the summer. Because vocab is the first thing that goes during the year, and it's the hardest thing to develop. So that summer between sophomore and junior year is a good time to put in a process that you can actually maintain over the school year. And yes, SAT is changing the character of the test. It'll be less vocabulary focused. So for most of you in this room, it may not be as big of a question mark, but until the test is officially changed, that's how we do it. Now, you want to do some sort of summer enrichment. Develop your interest via a summer course, travel, etc. If there are students who want to go on, like, say, I don't know, like a college experience program, the best time to do it is between sophomore and junior year. You should not be doing it the following summer, and for reasons you'll see in a second. Junior fall, begin your preparation. right? Lots of students target the March test as their first SAT. And you can view the PSAT as a benchmark, okay? So people ask me, what's the purpose of the PSAT? Well, other than it being a National Merit Scholarship qualifying test, right? By the way, New Jersey has the highest PSAT threshold. This past year, I think it was at 226, or last year. It was something crazy, really, really high. Most people aren't scoring that. So the PSAT becomes, from a tutor's perspective, a benchmark in how well you're doing on test day vis-a-vis the mock test you took leading up to it, because that information is valuable. If you're someone who is, I don't know, say you're training, say, 1800 or 180 on your PSAT mock tests leading up to the actual exam. If you score an 1800 or 180 on the PSAT, we know that wherever you're trending is probably where you're going to be on test day. That's very helpful, right? If you're someone who gets, say, like a 1760 or a 1750, that's actually quite common to see like a 20 or 30 point reduction in each section score. But at least we know that now. So in the fall, when we're taking our exams, if we're shooting to break, say, 2,000, we have to be, probably above 2,000 in preparation for that test. Lastly, if you're trending at 180, you get a 185 or 186, we know that you're a money player, that you're a great test taker. All right? And that's also helpful as well.